Good evening and welcome to the special program on NewsX brought to you by OneXpat. In a significant development in T20 international cricket is now officially a part of Olympics. Yes, cricket will now be played in Olympics after a successful vote by the International Olympic Committee during its 141st session held at Mumbai's Geo World Centre. The session, a historic event in India after 40 years, featured Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the chief guest, who expressed India's commitment to hosting the 2036 Olympics. What a monumental day it would be. Switching to the ODI World Cup 2023, Afghanistan pulled off a remarkable 69-run upset against England in the 2019 World Cup champions. In a recent ODI match at the New Delhi's Arun Jaitley Stadium, key contributors for Afghanistan were Rahmatullah Gurbaz and Ali Khil, propelling their team to a total of 284 runs. During England's chase of 285 runs, only Harry Brook managed to score a half-century, while Afghanistan's spin trio, Rashid Khan, Mujibur Rahman and Mohammad Nabi, combined for 8 wickets. England's decision not to include spin all-rounder Moeen Ali proved costly as their paces conceded 189 runs in 29 overs. Afghanistan, after a shaky start that saw them at 190 for 6, showcased their resilience as tailenders contributed significantly, with Ikram Akil, Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman playing crucial roles. Openers Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadrani had previously laid the foundation with a 114-run partnership. Wow. Now, spin department played a pivotal role in Afghanistan's historic victory, and what you're seeing on your screen right now is a heat map, is the map of how the bowlers were bowling, and that's very exclusive on your channel right now. However, we'll come back to that a little later. We're going to talk about the match that is currently happening between Sri Lanka and Australia. Tasmin is our studio guest right now, who joins us. We'll be talking about the match today. Tasmin, what do you have as the latest update for the match?
Currently, Sri Lanka is 199 for 8. They are currently reviewing a decision that is possibly out by Adam Zampa. So I think it's looking super interesting right now. Sri Lanka is struggling in all forms of the word right now.
Well, you have seen the growth of Sri Lanka, especially during the qualifiers at Zimbabwe, where they were defeating every team and at the same time getting them out. Do you think 250 is a good total to defend for the Sri Lankan bowlers? Yeah,
definitely. I think we've seen what can happen yesterday with a couple of runs on the board. Definitely scoreboard pressure will play a big role as well for the back of the minds for the Australians, not forgetting that teams already come in with their own pressure to this game. Both right now, Australia is still looking for the win to find them somewhere on the table.
Well, Kusal Perera contributed 78 runs and secured his 16th ODI half-century earlier in the day, maintaining a strike rate of 95 with 12 fours. However, Sri Lanka made a solid start by amassing 51 runs without losing any wicket in the initial 10 overs. Yes, but that was then. And then Australians made a comeback. Now, I want to ask you about the match today right now. Do you think the Australians are bowling well, or Sri Lankans are getting out on the juvenile shots?
Well, to start with, I do think that the Sri Lankans definitely had a great start up front in the top. Notable partnership from the two of them. But what I do want to point at is the Australians have managed to be patient. Even when they had no wickets coming on earlier up front, they have managed to keep chipping away and keep asking the questions and keep chipping away, finally finding the breakthrough eventually. And this is what's very important in 50-over cricket. Unlike T20 cricket, if you make a mistake up front at the start, you do have a chance to recover yourself in the second period of the 11 to 40 overs.
Well, 40 overs and you have 199 Sri Lanka, and they're struggling with 8 wickets. Do you think this is an important match for Sri Lanka, and they realize it, considering they're facing one of the best teams in the world, who are playing perhaps the worst they have played in the last 50 years of their cricketing ODI history? Do you think they're squandering the all-important opportunity they got Sri Lankans against Australia? Your views?
I'm not too entirely sure what might just be going through the minds of the Sri Lankans. I think after the early collapse of their two openers that had actually stabilized and built a good foundation for them, I think they panicked just a bit when Pat Cummins started coming in, as well as Adam Zampa came, and they just started tapping things down from around 29.1 overs. I think the Sri Lankans were meant to take a breath, step back and rebuild, as opposed to trying to come back and just keep going at the same rate that their openers actually went at.
Well, the starting was very good. Do you think when you squander and let go of that opportunity, the dressing room mood isn't that great? Talk us through how the dressing room is when suddenly 4-5 wickets fall in a cluster. What is the coach talking to the players at that point of time? Just your experience.
I think possibly all his leftover batsmen, I'd say probably from number 6, 7, just before they've obviously lost the previous 2 wickets. The aim would have been for them to go out there and bat as many overs as they can, possibly bat out the 50 overs, because taking nothing away from the Australian bowlers, they've definitely been way better than they have thus far in the tournament. But like any other normal human being, when the pressure's turned back onto you again, bowlers do tend to start trying things. But if the bowling team is actually on the top and no one comes back and tries to convert pressure or tries to come back and stick around, then they will keep stamping down and keep chipping away at the batting order.
Is it a spin track today, what we saw today, the way the ball has been going, or is it poor shot selection?
I think probably a little bit of both, because we've seen a couple of balls from Pat Cummins going through the gate. One from Mitchell Starc just after the rain delay that happened. There is a bit of movement out there for the seamers, definitely. But yet again, taking nothing away from the spin bowlers, Adam Zampa looking way better than he has all tournament right now. Not leaving out Glenn Maxwell. Yes, he's got no wicket to his name, but it was him that started causing the pressure up front. It was him that left the batsman feeling like, okay, we'll just play out Glenn Maxwell and see who comes after him.
Meanwhile, Adam Zampa takes his 4th wicket. Do you think he's come to the party a little too late, Adam Zampa?
That's a hard question to answer. Personally, when is it ever too late?
It's the World Cup. Yes, you're right. It's never too late to join the party, especially when you're making a comeback, especially when your team has lost 2 wickets, and Australia is no exception in this.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.